How much does it affect you now, or how much do you think about it that in that year, 2013, you had a no-hitter, 2 outs in the 9th inning. Ryan Zimmerman hits a ball, honestly, just out of your reach. What were your thoughts on the mound then, and do you still think about it?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely still think about it for sure.
Fly ball onto the track, at the wall, it's gone! Home run!
Turns on a ball, deep right field, and gone!
What a game, what a moment.
All right, I'm pumped to be joined now by starting pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, Michael Wacha. Michael, thank you so much for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Of course. I got to start with we just had a fellow Aggie on, Bryce Miller, a couple weeks ago. The Aggies were doing pretty good at the time, still doing pretty good. They're 35-5, #1 team in the nation. How are we feeling about the Texas A&M Aggies?
Hey, no, I've been repping them hard this year for sure. Been keeping up with them for sure. Just had a big series against Vandy a couple weeks ago. Had to do a little trash talk to Wright in the clubhouse. But yeah, we got some SEC guys on the team. So yeah, it's a good year for the Ags to be doing well. Got a lot of smack talk going on.
Now let's talk about some real college baseball, a real college baseball team. You got Vinny Pasquantino over at first base. You got Matt Quatraro, pride of Old Dominion, all in the locker room. That's where I went. Those are some good guys on that team. Vinny P is a good dude, huh?
Oh, hey, Vendog, he's the man. No, he's great. Getting to know him. Always kind of playing against him the past couple of years. You can see his personality and some of the interviews that he does and how he plays the game. But yeah, he's a great clubhouse guy, great ball player as well. And no, it's been fun getting to know him for sure.
Michael, I gotta ask, you grew up a Cubs fan. So I want to ask what draft day was like. I think everything changes the day you get drafted, but it's just funny. You grow up a big Cubs fan, you get drafted by the Cardinals and play there for such a long time. So the day you get drafted, what was that draft day like, and what were your feelings and emotions?
That's pretty good one there. So yeah, I was born in Iowa. My whole family's from Iowa, and so they were always Cubs fans and Green Bay Packers fans. And we moved down to Texas whenever I was real young, and
Yeah.
we just kind of brought that allegiance with us. And so yeah, was riding the Cubs hard. Through school, through college. I remember, us baseball players were superstitious, and so I wore this Cubs kind of shirt on every start day. Thought it was good luck, and then sure enough, later that year, get drafted by the rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals, and that I don't even know where that shirt went, honestly. It was the whole family switched over, I think, overnight, and we kind of never looked back after that. So it was a fun night though. Had a lot of family down there in College Station. We had just gotten beat out of our regional that year, but had a lot of family down there. Some teammates were there as well. It was a fun night for sure.
I gotta imagine you were drafted when the draft was still at the end of the college baseball season. So I'm assuming you got a lot of shit from guys on your team. Like, you've been wearing Cubs stuff for years, and now this is meant to be.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, they definitely wore me out. Just like, hey, where's all your Cubs stuff? I'm like, no, never had that stuff
What Cubs stuff?
yeah, no, that stuff's long gone.
Well, so you end up going up through the minor leagues, and I always like asking guys what this was like, because it's the call that everyone hopes you get, and I ended up playing professional baseball for 5 years and didn't get, but it's always such a cool thing when you're in a locker room and a guy does. What was your call up to the big league story like?
Uh so yeah, I was drafted in 2012, and then signed pretty quick and went and played in the GCL, got moved up to high
Oh
A, and
God.
then yeah, GCL days were fun there. But yeah, ended up kind of hopping the fence there in Palm Beach and played high A ball there for about another month, and then went and joined AA Springfield for the remainder of that season. And then that 2013 ended up breaking camp with the AAA team, and was pitching there for a couple months, and some injuries in the big leagues were going on, and ended up getting called into the office by our manager Pop Warner there, and just was like, hey, there's some guys that are kind of banged up, and we're going to skip your start for potential where you get called up, and hey, don't say anything yet because it's not official or anything. So that kind of got my hopes up. I'm like,
yeah,
what do we got here? So he didn't wait too long. I think it was later that day. He called me in there. He's like, hey, you can tell your parents and stuff that, hey, you're going to be making your next start in St. Louis against the Royals, actually. So, no, that was unbelievable. That call to the parents, just to, hey, get the travel plans booked to get up there to St. Louis and see that debut. But yeah, that was definitely a memorable day at the ballpark there.
It's truly an unbelievable. I mean, this probably as well as anybody, but the minor leagues are a grind, man. And there are so many, I spent 5 years down there in the Florida State League, which is a nightmare in the summer, terrible place to be a hitter. There's so many guys that it takes so long to get to the big leagues. And you spent a year in the minors and then were named the 2013 NLCS MVP. I mean, how much of a whirlwind was that whole process? I mean, you were in college just a year plus before. Next thing you know, you're NLCS MVP.
I don't think I really knew quite what was going on at the time. I was just, keeping my head down and, hey, just trying to build off of each start. I got called up there early in that 2013 season, kind of late May-ish or so. And then ended up getting sent down after a few starts in the big leagues. And they were kind of limited my innings. They're like, hey, we want to limit your innings to hopefully be able to use those innings later on in the season. Yeah. And so ended up kind of working out to how they had planned it out. And, the arm was still fresh, in that September and then to the October run there. And it was I always say it, I was leaning on the veterans on that team because it was all just, pro ball was still pretty new to me, especially the Major League Baseball playoffs was new to me this first time going. And so, it was definitely leaning on those veteran guys in that clubhouse that, hey, this is kind of what to expect. It's the same game that you've been playing your whole life. Just no reason to go out there and change what you're doing. Your stuff's going to play well. And, credit goes to them for sure.
I remember in your first AB, I believe you got a knock in your first at bat in the big leagues, in the game you're pitching on the mound. What were you more nervous to get in the box that first time, or were you more nervous to be on the mound your first time in the big leagues?
I would say equal nerves.
Who were you facing in the box?
I had Jeremy Guthrie was who I went up against in my debut. And so, and I didn't hit in college or anything like that. So there was, and I was never a very good hitter in high school either. I went to a small school. So, I kind of had to play a position there just for the amount of people that were going out for the team and everything. But so it was 3 years off in college of no swings or anything like that, and then getting in there and facing a major league veteran pitcher who's been doing it for a while. And it was I think I might have closed my eyes and just made contact and it was like, oh, here we go. But getting on the bases, I was just so nervous, taking the smallest lead probably ever possible, just not wanting to get picked off. I was out there in uncharted territory, that's for sure. But it was something that I hang over some of these, guys that are making their debuts now and stuff. Hey, it's, not everyone can get a knock in their first AB, it's a lot tougher than you think.
And it's not like you didn't take any swings in college. You never had an at bat. You get to the big leagues. It's pitchers in the National League. It's like you only start taking swings in the cage a couple days before you know you're gonna have to hit, and then you're not even really taking swings. You're just laying down a million bunts. So
Yeah.
for you to get in there and get a knock in your first AB, pretty impressive. Something you should hang over their heads because they're never gonna get a hit in the big leagues now.
Yeah, no, I used to bat 1,000 in the show, so no one can ever take that away from me.
I want to speaking of that
Quickly
that 20
downhill after that.
but 1-for-1, you were
Yeah.
1-for-1 batting. It's like me and my career against my brother. I'm 1-for-1 batting 1,000. I hit a homer. I am never getting back in the box again against him, and that's all I need,
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, no, I should have stopped then.
Speaking of that 2013 season, I remember Yachty in spring training of that year. Yadier Molina, one of the all-time greats behind the plate, said something that had to be pretty cool for you to hear. He said, "I think that guy right now can pitch in the big leagues," and said, "That's the way I look at it. He's got great stuff. He has a great presence on the mound." For you, a young kid just out of college, Yachty's one of the all-time greats. What did that mean to you?
Yeah, no, I remember that for sure. It was after a spring training start in St. Lucie where I went, 3 innings or so, had a good outing, and you know, hearing him say that to the media, it gives you confidence as a player that hey, I if this guy is saying this about me, this is one of the best to ever do it behind the plate, and has had a hell of a career to that point as well. It just gave me confidence that I can go out there and perform at the highest level. Him saying that, I remember David Freese and some live ABs. He put out some kind words to the media as well, saying just like, "Hey, this guy's got some good stuff." And I'm like, "What the?" MVP of the World Series, a couple of years ago, saying
That's
this.
cool.
Like, I remember watching him on TV and stuff. Just like hearing those words from some of those veteran guys, it goes a long ways. To some of those rookies that are, still maybe not totally believing in themselves, but definitely have the capability of going out there and doing it. But yeah, it was. I'll never forget whenever Yachty kind of stuck his nose out there for me in the media, and no, that was definitely really cool as a young guy.
How much at the time were you upset, and how much does it affect you now, or how much do you think about it that in that year, 2013, you had a no-hitter, 2 outs in the ninth inning. Ryan Zimmerman hits a ball, honestly, just out of your reach. What were your thoughts on the mound then, and do you still think about it?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely still think about it for sure. I've played with some guys that have some no hitters. Played with Musgrove last year. So yeah, just talking with him, just like, how'd you do it? Like, come on. But yeah, no, that one in 2013 against the Nats, that was a really special night there. Just everything was clicking. Getting outs, defense was playing great behind me. Stuff was working, and then yeah, get to that last batter, absolutely just paint a fastball down in a way that just kind of hits off the end of the bat where I've probably put in a million traverse runs now, saying that play will never get me again, type of deals. But yeah, I still don't think Zimmerman's ever had that time to first, home to first in his career. I think that was the fastest he's ever got down the line that time. But yeah, I still believe there's hope. I've flirted with it a few times over my career, and still going out there every start trying to get through 9 with no hits. So we'll see if we ever get close again.
You've been really pitching well the last couple of years, man. I like talking to guys about, I don't think people quite understand the mental side of baseball, or maybe just how mental the game is. I can speak to it more from a hitter, but I know the process of going 0 for 4 can lead to an 0 for 8, can lead to an 0 for 20 before you know it. And I think over the last, 5 years or so, you've had a couple injuries, you've had some down years, you've had some up years, and then in 2022 with the Red Sox, you seemingly got back to form. So I'm interested in, like, was that year for you a lot of mental, or was it physical, something you figured out? Was it just being healthy again? What was it that allowed you to get back to form and allow you to continue that now?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely some physical and definitely some mental. I think both sides of it, because you know, I had a pretty brutal oblique injury in 2018. It kept me out for the rest of that year, and it kind of lingered over into that 2019 season. And just coming back in 2019, that 2020 season, trying to think that I was kind of the same pitcher I was whenever I was, 21, 22, 23 years old. Just it just wasn't the case. And so that was tough, on the mental side of it, because hey, like, why am I not getting results? What's going on here? You can start doubting yourself as a player, as a professional, like, what's going on here? But just I still, just kept working my tail off in the weight room, in the training room, conditioning wise, in the bullpens, my catch play. Just continue to do what I've always done, on that aspect of it, and just kept believing that things would turn around. And then I got to Tampa in 2021, and kind of figured some things out there about halfway through the year, with kind of my repertoire and different ways that I could, kind of pitch, and kind of the pitcher I was at the time then. So about halfway through 21, started using that repertoire in a little bit different ways, and started getting some success there towards the end of the year, and then just carried that over into the off season. Kept working on those kind of different pitches, that different repertoire that I've been going with, going into that 2022 season, and just kept building off of that, and ended up having a really good season in Boston. Carried that over into San Diego last year, and just continue to try to learn who I am as a pitcher, and continue to just keep rolling and keep getting better.
I am interested in, I feel like everybody that I've ever talked to from the Rays, whether it be pitchers, Glass now, Ryan Yarborough, or even like a Brett Phillips guy, as a hitter, everyone says the same thing. And it's that the Rays put you in the best position to succeed with what you have. And it sounds like they were a big part of that for you. And I guess, just like, I remember Glasnow talking about just how they'll tell you this pitch works better for you, do this more, or you don't throw a pitch like this, let's start doing this. And it just seems like the Rays are an organization that takes what you have and makes you the best that you can possibly be with the repertoire that you do have. And it seems like that's what kind of the conversation was about.
Yeah, no, I love that organization. They got some really good guys over there. I enjoyed working with Snyder over there, pitching coach. He's a master at what he does. He's got that gift where he makes you feel like you're. Oh, I always say it because he always says it. He wants you to feel like you're 10 feet tall on the mound. You feeling as good as you possibly can, you're strong as you can, and no one can stop you whenever you're on the mound. And that's what he wants you to feel like. And so yeah, there was some things, and they were open to conversations too. Some things early on in the season, I was trying to do, coming off a rough 2020 year. I was kind of lost myself, and so they had some ideas that I was willing to do. And I wouldn't necessarily say that they panned out too well in the beginning of the year, but they were really up for conversations on how to get better, and hey, try this and try this. And so ended up finding some stuff that stuck, and started producing some really good results, and rolled with it from there. And just like I said, just enjoyed working with those guys, and they're very good at what they do. Obviously, from their track record over the past so many years.
You also you end up in San Diego. Good year there. Pitched with Seth Lugo there. Now both of you guys went from San Diego to the Royals and are part of right now one of the best rotations in the game of baseball. And you're the savvy vet of the rotation. How cool is it, or what's it been like for you being a vet in a rotation with guys like Freddie Singer and Cole Reagans, who are absolute studs?
No, it's an awesome group, really is. Whenever I was a free agent this past year, talking with JJ and kind of watching this team over the past year, and kind of seeing how they finished up the season last year on a good run, and kind of figuring it out towards the end of the year. Just looking at their roster and looking at their staff, I was really excited to be able to join this team, and getting to spring training out there in Arizona, getting to meet those guys, what was great as well. Just starting to build that camaraderie out there. But yeah, like you said, Reagan, Singer, Marsh, going tonight. He's all three of those guys are unbelievable. They're really fun. They're willing to learn. They're asking questions. They want to be the best versions of themselves. And I'm still learning myself, but if they have questions, I try to be there and give them the best answers I can to help them become the best versions of themselves. But yeah, it's cool getting to team back up with Lugo. It was fun getting to see him back in the rotation last year. He's an absolute stud. Just absolute kind of wizard out there on the mound. Just
Spins the shit out of it.
Yeah, just can spin the heck out of it. It's so much fun watching him in bullpens. He's like, hey, I want to try to get a little bit more sweep on this, and it's like first try sweep. I want some more depth on this with some sweep. It's like bam, there it is. It's like I can't spin the ball at all. I'm the biggest pronator in the game. So it's yeah, that supinate just it doesn't really click well with me, but being able to see what he does with that, it's very impressive.
We had Cole Reagans on the show in the offseason. Honestly, like right before the season started, Cole came on, and what a journey his has been to the big leagues with the multiple Tommy Johns, and now at the end of last year to be honestly maybe the best pitcher in baseball the second half of the season. Now he's having his full breakout season. How nasty is that guy? I mean, we're talking 100 from the left side, nasty stuff. How much fun is he to watch?
Oh, I tune in for every bullpen, every inning that he's out there. I am very impressed with his stuff. I mean, he's got everything. He's got 4 or 5 pitches, can locate every single one of them. Yeah, and like you said, his journey has kind of made him who he is. He's very tough. He's one of the biggest competitors out there on the mound. Does not like getting beat, and so no, he's very fun to watch. He's got some really good stuff, and I'm expecting a lot of good things out of him this year. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Speaking of young guys, it feels like another guy, Bobby Witt Jr. He's taken another step forward this year when he's already, I mean, he's a stud, an absolute stud. This year, he's absolutely killing it. I mean, what was coming to this organization, obviously, as a pitcher in the big leagues, everybody circles the name Bobby Witt Jr. when you're playing the Royals, and he's a guy, don't let him beat you. Now you're there getting to watch him day in and day out. What was your first impression of Bobby Witt Jr.?
No, I'm just as impressed with him as anybody I've ever seen in the game. Really, he just shows up every day ready to work. He's a great dude, great teammate as well. But yeah, seeing what he does on the baseball field, the way he can take the extra bases, like, hey, this is a no doubt single. He's turning into a double, no doubt doubles. He's turning into triples. He's hitting every ball 110 and up. Like he just he finds barrels on pitches that you're like, you're not supposed to find barrels on that. And in the field too, man, he's just making play after play. He's ranging deep into the hole, making unbelievable throws over to first, just saving runs for us pitchers, which we love, obviously. But no, he's a great leader. He's one of those guys in the clubhouse that you can go to, that he knows what's going on. He's doing his work. He's prepared for every game, and he's always getting after it. He's, I would say, the epitome of what a baseball player should be like. The way he runs the bases, the way he prepares, and the way he competes out there.
That's awesome, man. The Royals are playing some really exciting baseball this year. The team's a lot of fun to watch. It honestly, from the outside, seems it's like a perfect combination of young guys like we've talked about, right? Bobby Witt, Cole Reagans, Vinny P over at first base, and a group of older guys that have been brought in. And this offseason, just a fantastic offseason for the Royals. Nobody added more players, free agents, than the Kansas City Royals this offseason. And I felt like the team was going to be able to take a big step forward. But we are talking about a team that lost over 100 games last year. And now here we are, and the team looks really good and really fun and exciting. What do you feel? What is the goal for the team this year? After losing over 100 this year, now you're in the thick of it a month into the year. What is the goal this season for the Kansas City Royals?
No, I think the goal is to, have that belief that we've got a team that can go out there and compete. I think last year, I think it's good to talk about it, but I think I think you got to learn from that season and be able to flush it as well. Take the learning stuff from last year and be able to use that as experience and use that as another year underneath your belt in the big leagues, and carry that into next year, into this year, I guess, and have that belief that, hey, we can go out there and compete with anybody in the league. And so like you said, I think that combination of the young guys as well as the veteran guys, with the captain behind the plate, Sal, Mikey Garcia at third, Bob, Vinny P, Massey, those guys are unbelievable and really fun to watch. MJ as well. And then, you add in the Renfro, the Frasers, the Will Smith and Stratton out in the pen. It's a really good combination of players. And so I think it's just, I'm glad that we've gotten off to a good start, because we all believe that in spring training that, hey, we've got a team that can compete.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that it's translated into some wins to, hey, we're going to have some rough patches, throughout the year for sure. But, being able to limit those rough patches and still keep that belief that, hey, we've got a good team. We've done it early on in the season. We can get back to that at any time as well. And so it's good to be able to lean on that and, continue to keep building, keep learning, and keep preparing and going out there and competing and winning some ball games.
Does Salvi get the love that man deserves? I mean, he's back there. He's playing every day. As he's getting older, he's still just hitting it maybe better than he ever has. I mean, the guy is one of the nicest human beings on the planet. I just don't feel like people talk about Salvador Perez enough. I mean, does he get the credit he deserves?
No, absolutely not. No, this guy is an absolute stud. He, like you said, he wants to be behind the plate every single game. He does not want an off day. He is begging to be in that lineup, whether it's he wants to catch every day, but hey, we got to mix in some DH days, give those legs a little bit of a break every now and then. We've got a really good backup catcher in Freddie as well, so he comes in and does a great job as well. But yeah, Sal is the captain, man. He's been here. He's been through the ups, been through the downs, and he has been as consistent as any player in the big leagues, I believe. And he's gotten off to an incredible start. He's gotten some huge hits for us this year. Gotten the rally started. walk-off hits already this year, and has been calling some great games back there as well. He's got that experience where he's faced a lot of these guys in this division before that, kind of myself, Lugo, some of these younger guys that haven't, pitched in this division for that long. He knows these batters. He knows kind of their game plans and how to attack these guys. And so he's a really good guy to be able to lean on in some of those situations.
What a dude. I had him on the show before, and he's just an all-time human being as well. Michael, got a couple fun questions for you before we finish up. First of which being, outside of Kauffman, you can't make that the answer. What is your favorite stadium to play in?
Favorite stadium to play in? Besides Kauffman, because it's a great pitcher's park. I would say Fenway. Fenway's kind of got a little special place in my heart. That was my rookie year. We were pitching there in the World Series. There was really cool, and then getting to play a full season there in 2022 was really cool. That fan base, they come out and show out every game. It doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday day game or weekend night game. They're out there supporting their team and making it a really fun atmosphere to play in. And yeah, all the history in that ballpark as well is really cool too.
You got your name in the monster out there?
Yeah. I've signed it a couple times. I went and played there with Team USA in college.
Okay.
And had like an exhibition game there. And so got in there early on, and then going back in 2013, got back there and signed.
You got to sign it again as a big leaguer.
That's fair. Absolutely.
To the contrary, least favorite stadium that you have to travel to and play at?
Least favorite? Man, I don't know. Like, I feel like all the big league teams are in show cities. I feel like there's always something to do. But let's see. I would say probably Colorado, just because of the altitude and me being a pitcher. Not the best place. There's a lot of green grass out there in the outfield, and then the ball flies whenever they do get it in there. So a lot of knocks, and then the big fly will hurt you there. But yeah.
Did you ever get to hit there?
I did get to hit there, but yeah, I want to say it was against Roy Oswalt one time, and he was just dropping bangers on me, and I had no chance. But yeah, it was yeah, you always like come out of those games like feeling a little more achy too. Like,
interesting.
I don't know. I don't know how Blackman's done it all those years there. He's a stud.
Last one for you. If you were to put together your top 5 all-time rotation, all-time starting pitching rotation, 5 guys, who's going in it?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, I think I got to go Pedro Martinez. He's definitely up there. He was one of those guys I got to talk to in spring training quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Season in Boston. Bob Gibson was around him for a while there in St. Louis. Didn't get to see him pitch, but saw a ton of highlights and everything like that. But no, if you get them to change the game, you're
if
doing.
They move the mound back for you and if they lower
Yeah.
the mound for you, you're doing something right.
Yeah, he's got to be in that top 5. And I got to talk to him about pitching a lot, so that was.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, got to go, my guy Wayno. Just just 20 years in the show, just unbelievable mentor to myself and so many other young guys as well.
Yeah.
Those 3. I was a Cubs fan, so yeah. Mark Pryor, Kerry.
I was gonna say Pryor's not a bad prime Mark. I mean, healthy Mark Pryor.
Yeah, Mark Pryor. Yeah, that was my guy growing up, and then get this. Is he still in L.A.?
Yeah, he's a pitching coach for the Dodgers still.
Yeah. So that was cool getting to see him over there. So there's 4. Uh, I gotta go probably Roger Clemens,
Okay.
number 5. You know, he's yeah.
Left
He
yourself
he's,
out of it. Didn't know if you were going to put yourself in that 5
oh,
spot.
what? Yeah. Hey, maybe number 6. But
Hey, I gotta
yeah.
add, so Adam Wainwright, now a new teammate of mine here at Fox Sports, just joining the crew over here. And I know you say he's a big mentor of yours. I need your favorite Adam Wainwright story, a funny story, memorable story, something you got about him.
I mean, there's so many. No, I feel like we always used to rag on him for having these like little short gator arms. So if you ever see him, just yeah, try to notice like he's just got these like just I feel like his sleeves just go down like a normal sleeve just goes down past his elbows. And I swear that's why he can just spin a curveball. He just keeps it so tight to him and it just spins so good out of there. But yeah, so we always used to rag on him about his short gator arms, but you know, he is just always a prankster. You know, he would be always hiding behind doors, trying to scare guys, hiding in people's lockers behind the clothes, and then jumping out whenever they get in front of their locker. You know, doing pranks on old teammates. You know, getting getting their like travel clothes just not cut up, but like I remember he got this got somebody's like dress shirt from the opposing team and got his name stitched in the back, Wainwright 50 on a getaway day. And so that player had to wear his dress shirt with the Wainwright jersey on the back of it. And I was always that one always stuck with me. Just like, man, that was pretty good there. Yeah, he was always doing stuff, but he honestly is like the most talented guy I've ever met in my life. Whether it's you know, playing baseball, ping pong, singing, playing the guitar, you know, stand-up comedy. Like this guy, he can do it all too. So I don't know if you've checked out his new album on Apple Music or any of that. Hey y'all.
I haven't yet.
Yeah, it's a good one. I've been jamming it. So he's got a lot of good songs out there. And you know, looking forward to the next one for sure. But yeah,
that's awesome. He's gonna come on the show at some point, and I'm the only thing I'm gonna tell him is about the gator arms. That's what we're gonna stick.
He
Michael,
would. Yeah,
I
it wasn't
appreciate
gator
it,
arms at the restaurants. He would pick up the tabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would pick up the tabs a lot. So
as he should. He did well for himself. When he's out with a bunch of young guys, he's got to pick up that tab even with the gator arms.
Absolutely.
Michael, I appreciate it, man. This has been a lot of fun. Keep killing it this year. You and the Royals are a lot of fun to watch. So appreciate you coming on. Big fan of yours, and keep killing it, man.
Yep. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, just wanted to thank Michael Wacha again for joining us here on Flippin' Bats. What a fun interview. What a journey the guy had from college to NLCS MVP in the span of like just over a year. The journey he's had throughout the big leagues and to be where he is now on a really fun team. Man, he's awesome. That was a really fun conversation and fun hearing him talk pitching about himself, about other players, about Wainwright. I really enjoyed that conversation. Hope you all did as well. So make sure you're following or subscribed wherever you're listening right now. Click that follow, subscribe button. It does really help. And you can also watch everything we do on Spotify, on YouTube as well, and give us a follow on TikTok. We're getting close to 100,000 followers, and that is the goal there. So appreciate you all for listening. And until next time, my friends, remember, find your bat and flip it.